So here we are. I've got a little DJ setup, external setup to show you the getting audio in. So that's to all intents and purposes a DJ setup. It could be a record player, you could have a cassette player, going into a mixer, and then on into what would be your normal Ableton setup. So just to show you this quickly, I have a setup that's coming out of a sound card into a mixer, and that's the important part. So you might have your DJ mixer or something else, or a record amp. The outputs of that mixer are coming out and into the inputs of your sound card, and you need an external sound card for this. So I'm kind of going into the inputs here. So I have a record or a song that I want to take a piece out of. You might hear this. There's a boing sound I think I want to use. Okay. So I'm going to play it there, and I'm going to record it into this Ableton session here. So let's have a quick look actually again and see what that looks like when it's playing. I've got my mixer. I can turn my inputs up and down. That might be peaking a little bit, so you want to kind of be adjusting your level onto your inputs. You can also be adjusting your gain to get a good level, and that's what I'll be doing in the next step. Okay, so I'll switch it over. So here we are. I've opened up a blank Ableton session. You have some audio tracks, MIDI tracks, and we're going to record into one of our audio channels because we're recording audio. So I'm going to open up my preferences, Command comma, and we're looking onto the audio tab here to look at your inputs and outputs. We're focusing on the input because we're taking audio in to record. At the moment there's no device. You might have that set to your built-in microphone. If we take a quick look at that, you can see as I'm speaking it's picking up what's going into the laptop mic. We want to set it to our audio interface that we have connected. So I currently have this Scarlett 2i2 that I showed you set up. So I'm just turning down the control room volume there so you will see the sound as opposed to hearing it, because it'll be easier to hear my voice. So I'm now going to play the track. Now I need to record enable that to see what signal's coming in before we record. So I've armed the track, I should say. So play this. So you can see signal coming in there. And you want to try and get a level up to a decent amount for digital audio. So I'm just stopping it there. If you're recording too low, when you increase it, sometimes you can be taking up the noise floor. So that looks okay to me. So I'm going to double stop to get it to the start of the lane, and I'm going to press record, and then I'm going to play this part. So there it is coming in. Okay, so I think that's got the part I wanted. So I'm stopping that. You can ignore it. I just happen to have another bit of a track on there. So I stopped the recording and then stopped my record player or whatever it is playing. We can listen back to this now. Okay. So you can see the audio waveform. Okay, that looks like the part I want. So you have a few options now. You can kind of, if you've got maybe a vocal or something atmospheric, you might just want to build up your track with the sample as is. In this case, I want to isolate that bit, so I'm just going to go in here. If you press Command E, it puts a break in the audio file. That's the start of it, and I'm going to take it to about, I'm zooming in, which helps create another break there. So I've got that little bit of audio now on its own. You know, maybe I could edit that down, or I could trim it out. I can cut out the other bits if I want. I'm going to copy that, Command C. I'm going to open up a MIDI track. I'm going to get a sampler. So let's have a look in here. for instruments sampler. I'm going to pull that on there. I copied it already. I'm just going to put it there. That's our boing. I'm going to drag it into the sampler, and it's respected the selection. It's got the other bits of audio in case I wanted to trim it further. So now that is on a sampler. So if I arm that, I can play it in the scale. If I want, I can jam away with that. The original sample was at 130 BPM. I'm going to do something now at 105 just to illustrate. You can kind of change the nature of the track and everything. So just put in some MIDI notes there. Okay, or I could have something more steady. Got a different tempo to that. Could throw in an echo or something. Bump the output a bit. Mess around the feedback. You get the picture. It's there for you to play with now. So hopefully that shows you the process. Nice one.